and welcome to the Swole Initiative Network. You are watching the Fables of Gahlia on a Thursday, which is still weird. What did I throw around earlier? Fables Thursday? That kind of feels gross too. I don't know, guys. I need to uncover Paul's face.
Yeah.
As soon as I can find it there. There you go. There we go. All right, we're all here. Gang's all here. Before we get into tonight's show, we're going to run through some amazing brand partners of ours, starting with Stacks.
Yes, Swole only roll with Norse Foundry's amazing gemstone and metal dice. Also, all our featured music, like what you're hearing right now, comes from the free library available on Apple Music and Spotify by the one and only Norse Foundry. Use the code SWOLE, SWOLE, to save 10% at norsefoundry.com.
Fantastic. And Betty.
Also, Griffin Co., where all of our 3D printed custom terrain comes from the incredible folks over at Griffin Co. We love them. So go check them out and use the code SWOLE22 and you can get 22% off at griffinco.com.
There it is. I always forget which way. And Ashley, bring us home.
That's me. Hello, travelers. Have you ever wanted to play God and create disturbing amalgamations of figures to suit your dark needs? Well, look no further than Hero Forge! Our brand partner and official sponsor of Fables of Gahlia is the one, the only Hero Forge. All of our fully custom player minis come from the awesome Hero Forge. Design yours today at heroforge.com.
Brilliant.
That was the best one, yeah.
Perfect.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Absolutely perfect emphasis on it. All the right syllables. Cool. Okay. Other things. YouTube. We have one of those. You can hit !YouTube and a link will appear. And then you can go and view all of our past episodes. I am still catching up because I have like 3 conventions back to back that I've been lining up for. So I will be gone for a long time. But I am catching up. I think there's like 5 episodes, 6 after this one, that need to be uploaded, and then we are all current with Fables. We have just put together everything to start releasing the ttrpg stuff that Eric ran, and then we'll be catching up with Call of Cthulhu. But if you want to see all of our VODs, that's where they go to live on in the ether. So go and subscribe over there as well. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and we're gonna try and make partner over there. So if you could, that'd be awful nice. Yes. So YouTube subscriptions. We are still doing a catch-up with our previous winners because we had so friggin' many back-to-back, and then we had the Norse Foundry move. So we're still catching up with that, so we are not running any giveaways until we are fully caught up. But they are still appreciated. If you do subscribe, just know that it goes towards keeping the lights on, like the overheads that we do pay for, as well as producing all of the amazing like trailers and songs and things and artwork, new artwork sometimes, maybe. Who knows? Shut up. That we have for all of our shows. So thank you so much for everyone that does continue to subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way for us. Everything that we make on the channel just goes back into the channel. So it just helps us tell our little silly stories. So thank you. You can subscribe regularly, use a Prime subscription, which is free, so hashtag make Bezos pay for it, and gifted subs if you are feeling sprightly and what's the word? Not sprightly.
Generous? Is that what we're going for?
Yes, generous. That will
There
do.
it is.
Yeah, if you're feeling generous, then you may want to gift some subs, and that would be wonderful. And thank you so much for that. But if you are a subscriber, you can hit !roll in the chat, and it will roll a d20 for you, just like that. If you hit !roll D followed by a number of die, then it will Then it will roll that number of die all the way up to a D100. But you do have to be a subscriber. Yes, that's a caveat. Subscribers, yes. But if you're not a subscriber, but you're still here, thank you. That's the most important thing. Viewership on our little faces telling our little stories. So thank you for being here. Now, if you are here, everyone here earns channel points just by viewing. And once you accumulate 1,000 channel points, you can go to the little bottom left-hand corner of the chat and click on the flexing arm, and you can spend 1,000 of your hard-earned channel points per player per stream to contribute to a flex point for our players. That means that they get a little flexing arm icon on their window, and it means that they have access to the rule of cool. It has to make narrative sense, and it has to impress me. That's a new rule. It is use it or lose it, though. So the guys, oh, hey, Eric Frankhouse. What's up, man? I couldn't read your name because my contacts started sticking to my eyes. But that being said, I think that's it. So I'm pretty sure that the only thing left to do is roll that damn trailer for the next episode of the Fables of Gahlia. And welcome back. Perfect countdown. Shut up. Last time on the Fables of Gahlia, you guys had touchdown in your duck balloon, duck hawk. When I say it, it sounds okay. Duck balloon. And spent the night within a tiny hut of Adeline's design. Upon waking and starting to get ready, you met a Furbolg tribe known as the Whisperwind Nomads. along with these Furbolg came two other smaller people. One being a little moon elf called Arwen, who you would later find out is a runaway princess from Lanula, the moon elf city, currently hiding with the nomads. And the other one was one Brinthar Zuzel, the halfling carrying the stick. You guys broke feast. Broke feast?
Oh, it's good. I liked it. Honestly, I was like, oh, that's great. I should say that one.
Broke fast. Broke fast with the Whisperwind nomads and sort of spent time in kinship together. As you guys were getting ready to leave, Brinthar, adopting his happy-go-lucky attitude, was also heading towards the Institute as well. And so, offering to take him along with you, he opted to leave the Whisperwind nomads and join the group. As he was doing so, he picked up the scent of a warg, which then sprinted towards the princess, followed by a band of orcs. You dispatched with the orcs, and also caught sight, Adeline caught sight of a mage within the tree line who had a crescent moon-shaped headdress, teleporting away as the battle was turning. You guys were left to kind of gather yourselves and plan your next steps as Lost was preparing the balloon ready to go again. But that is where we are picking up, guys. So, the battle is over. What would you like to do?
The nomads have also dispersed in the woods, right? So it's just us now?
Yes, they said
Okay.
goodbye and then headed out through the trees, sort of disappearing once again, just like they appeared.
Adeline's gonna cast prestidigitation on her badly burnt clothes to get the soot off of them, and then start mending the places where it's kind of like burnt. And just not again.
Yeah, that nylon, man, it's not great.
It's melted
not
to
great.
her.
Not great under fireball heat.
She's in
yeah,
silk and wool. Like, let's be real.
I imagine you could spend like the next 10, 20, 30 minutes using your cantrip to fix your clothing. That's fine.
I think in a similar time, I might just be going over the orc bodies and like the actual like corpses that are left behind. Aren't there just like, I don't know, maybe they left something, a missive, or we could find out who sent them, or who knows, maybe they got even money on them. They don't need it anymore. Yeah, no, I'll just I'll loot a corpse.
Okay.
Mhm.
So there were three of them. There was the really big dude.
Yeah.
There was the. Oh, jeez. I have to turn this off, guys. I can't ever show my thumbs.
No. You have to count
Thumbs are
like,
the new feet.
and then you can't do this at the same time. You can't count
No.
4 like this. Yeah.
It's like 1, 2, 3. So there was the really big one.
Yeah.
There was the one with the helm that looked more like a leader amongst them. There was the body of the bone warg,
Right,
and
which was next to the really big guy, right?
and the other one that was kind of. Sorry, the cat is doing something over there that's very loud. And then there was the sort of regular soldier.
Cool. I'll with that description, you know what? The guy with a bunch of hands on his shield, the big guy, I remember him a lot, and so I'd love to go through his 2 halves and see what are left over.
Sure. You can give me an investigation check.
Would love that. Okay. Come on. +0. But is he lucky? Nope, he's 6. He's got a 6.
6. With a 6, you find some hands.
Nice.
Two of them are his, and then the rest of them are pinned to a shield. You also find his like large great axe, which you could take. It looks kind of rusty.
Yeah. I like mine better.
Yeah.
It kind of
Not great make.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's like some rusty chainmail. Not a lot, like some like warg furs. Other than that, nothing much.
Yeah, they were traveling kind of light. Didn't really see anything. You guys can take something off them if you want. If you want to loot this guy or that poor corpse.
Actually, perhaps not loot, but I would like to try my rogue technique of eye for detail to either investigate or perceive clues as to how they tracked down Alwyn and found her, because like from what Rhapsody's thinking, like these Furbolg just like appeared out of nowhere, so they're not like probably leaving a bunch of tracks behind them, at least visible ones.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So, well, you would have seen a lot of them turn invisible like as soon as the combat started. So they are pretty good at maintaining their sort of stealthiness. However, you like your brain goes back to how it began with that warg running out, and like putting 2 and 2 together. You're a smart rogue. You're able to deduce that they were probably tracking them over a really long period of time using scent.
But I have questions. What are orcs and wargs doing hunting on behalf of moon elves?
Would you like to ask them?
We can do that.
That's
course
right.
we can.
I you know what? I always forget that you can do that.
Me too.
Wait, that's a thing you can do?
I can. One that still has its head intact. The leader soldier guy still has got a head intact, right?
Nope, he was the one that had his head taken off.
But it's still in. It's not split. It's still.
No, it
Be-
was severed at the
before-
neck by Lost, so it's still there.
Then I
Before we do
shall.
that, though, just in case, does anybody speak Orcish? Just in case. Just in case.
That's a good.
I got Elvish. You think they might speak some Elvish, huh?
Well, if they're dealing with the elves, I also speak Elvish, so
Okay.
maybe
Maybe.
I'll ask my questions in Elvish.
I would say Lost. I did say that you were able to pick up like a couple of
Yep.
words here and there, but the dialect is very different to the Shadowfell orcs that you had regular dealings with in the Shadowfell.
Got it.
So I would say that you would be able to understand, like, you know, when languages are really similar and you can kind of pick up words and similarities and things, but not maybe a complete sentence, but you can get a concept. I think
Okay.
you'd be able to do that.
Okay.
All right. So I'll go to the head guy and pick up, or just I'll set his head up on like a rock or something, and I don't want to hold it while he talks to me. That's weird. So then
You
I
don't
will
want to hold the
cast-
helm and then his head drops out from.
Yeah. No, I don't
I
wanna
can
hold
use it for 0 as an upgrade.
That's so smart.
That's a good idea. So take that. Write that down. So then I will go and I will cast Speak with Dead
Mhm.
on this fella.
So you watch as the like golden energy seeps into the ground, up the rock, in through the bottom of the severed head, and alights inside the mouth and behind the eyes with this kind of golden glow.
Why are you looking for this princess?
And he says in Orcish, so Lost will pick up the following. Hunt, girl.
It's not really an answer to my question. Who sent you?
Moon elves.
Are there more coming?
Possibly.
Rose, ask where they were going to take her.
Okay. Where were you planning to take her?
Lanula. One more.
For what, maybe? What are they like? What were they gonna get out of it? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. Were you told why or for what reason?
Uncle wants her back.
And I look at Brentha. Does that mean anything to you?
Not really. Not to my knowledge. I'd be honest, I don't really ask about people's past because that stops them from asking about mine. So I just kind of kept it pretty light with Arwen from what I knew.
All right.
He watches the golden energy kind of flickers and drains back out of the head as its as its jaw becomes slack once more.
I would use my thing that deteriorates it. The
Decompose?
Yeah, that one. So it will take some time because it is a cantrip, but I decompose on all of the bodies, including the warg.
It's okay, we'll wait.
Nostaroth, when you allegedly made your dalliance in Forbidden Grounds, allegedly, did you ever see someone with a giant headdress shaped like the moon?
No, I didn't make it very far into the Moon Elven Kingdom. I made it to the outer skirts. Then I found a bar. Then I don't remember.
That tracks.
That makes sense.
Allegedly. It's what I would have done if I had entered the Moon Elven Kingdom.
I mean, who wouldn't, really?
Yes.
Right. Interesting. There was someone. They stepped back through a portal, with a giant moon helmet. Surely you all saw him.
No.
Does that trigger anything for me when she says that?
You can give me, I guess, a history check.
I'm not very good at that.
You know what? Can I?
Oh,
I was gonna say while we're doing this, I'd love to do bolstering magic. It's a thing where I can touch one creature and confer one of the following benefits of my choice. For 10 minutes, the creature can roll a D3 whenever making an attack roll or ability check, and add the number rolled to the D20. So like a little pat on the back while like you're thinking about it for a moment. I don't know how you roll a. Yeah, pat for luck. I don't know how you roll a D3 though.
I roll
D6
a
and
D6.
then have it.
Oh, that's so smart. You guys are so smart.
Yeah. I rolled a 1 on the d6, so is that a 1?
It is a 1.
Okay. So that would be
It's
21.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you got a what?
So
A 21.
it's nice.
That's so helpful.
It was very helpful.
It's good because 20 wasn't gonna cut it.
Mhm.
But with the
Thanks for the help.
21,
Game changer.
you you take a second, and the like moon headdress that starts some gears turning, and then like in your studies and things about like the neighboring peoples around the Fate Spire, you know that there's these giant, really fancy, ornate crescent moon headdresses that are worn by like high viziers and things within the Nula Kingdom, and they generally serve the royal family.
A moon elf with one of these headdresses would be serving the royal family. They would be like a mage to the royal family.
So, the uncle maybe is someone kind of important then to have a person like this running around?
Well, I mean,
Well-
if she's the princess, maybe.
Right. Oh. What does it mean?
I mean,
He's probably also of some royal standing.
Oh,
Right.
so if someone wanted to usurp the throne, maybe they take out. Oh, okay. Now I got it.
yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, you all have such fascinating customs and socialization patterns. This is amazing.
Yes, is it very different from what you're familiar with?
Not really. I guess mine is just kind of what it is. Yeah.
You muted halfway through, and I bet it was something so detailed and like you finally told us something about your
I'm
home.
never saying it again.
Damn it.
You're still muted.
We'll never.
If that could mean that she's in very grave danger. I mean, obviously we've seen that, but she's potentially the next ruler of that land.
Yes, that's why I worry about her not being
Next
somewhere
ruler
more.
could pardon me, right?
I like the way you're thinking, Lost. Absolutely, we can make a plea. And we just have to make sure that we secure her spot on the throne. We can do that. We could do a little political intrigue.
She's, well, maybe. She's not the current ruler, so. And that seems like she has people out to kill her on a regular basis, so that might not work out for us in our benefit. But I think the real issue is just trying to make sure that she stays safe.
Right, so I'm worried about her just traveling out in the open. The Phobos were very kind and very. Well, I was going to say capable, but not really. I mean, they just kind of buggered off when things got a bit heated.
But they disappeared completely.
Yes, but she didn't.
Well, that kind of thing can be taught.
They hardly took her with them. I'm just saying, it leaves something we desired. There are certainly more secure places that we could take her. I mean,
she's got an innate magic to her. She was showing me all kinds of things that she's learning to do, and I mean, I learned how to turn myself invisible from Lost, and maybe those kinds of things can be absorbed for her.
And also the Fearbog, the thing about them, they weren't even like they're naturally kind of good at hiding. They didn't know anyone was after them. Now that they know, they're gonna do such a good job.
That's
Gosh, I think they're gonna really try. And I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You guys are pretty bad. Is it pretty bad actually out here?
We're not the safest people to be around.
No. I
Be
feel
honest.
safe around you guys.
Because we
We
do
just-
tend to attract trouble.
Trouble.
I don't think it's that we attract trouble. I think that we try to make sure that it's a level playing field for everyone.
Okay. Well,
Yes,
that's not
but
too
what
bad.
does that even mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Well, when we see that people are being oppressed or enslaved or all of those things, that we stepped in.
That is true. So perhaps it's less that trouble finds us, but that we find it by involving ourselves very intrinsically into any trouble that we find and deeply tying ourselves to the root of it until we, see it through, or have it still chase after us, or collapse a mine on us and perhaps think that we're dead, but also perhaps maybe know that we're not now and also still be watching us in some way. Who knows?
That is very specific, but yes, potentially those things are very true. But at the same time, I think we just do the next right thing. We do what's right.
I like that. Just it seems like you guys been trying to do the right thing along the way at every point. Maybe it seems a little more worse for wear than not, but I mean, growing up, that was close, so close. You guys almost got me.
I'm gonna get you one of these days.
You think you're gonna get me, and then
I'm gonna get you. I'll get you.
Guys. Oh, that was. Oh, guys. But I'm just gonna say I resonate with the energy. All right, I appreciate that. I think we can vibe on that. I might have a similar vibe going. So
I
I'm
appreciate that as well. I did see that you're very powerful in combat and battle, and
Oh yeah, I was kind of really always the best at what I do and pretty unique at it. Part of it is just because of my connection. And he rolls up his sleeves again, and anyone can take a good look if they want at like the crystalline protrusions of druidite that's growing out of his forearms.
how did
Yeah,
how
I
did
feel
that
like I'd
happen?
probably clock that.
Ooh, yeah.
One at a time.
Yeah, I feel like I'd see that. I feel like I'd probably smell that in the air. I feel like I'd probably.
You might check it as also like when he went into his wild magic rage. There's a little bit of a connection there around it, but yeah. Yeah, just kind of always been different in my own way, and it's made me pretty good in a fight. I just don't always know what's gonna happen, but I kind of go with it. I just kind of trust where the wind blows.
Unpredictable.
No, it's not unpredictable. It's fate. He follows what fate is leading.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know who wrote it out for me, but I think it just kind of like
Jesus.
works out for me in the moment at the time.
Rhapsody,
Alright.
yes.
give me a perception check based on when you were next to Brinthar when he went into his rage.
Hmm, 13?
Brinthar, with a 13, what would Rhapsody have seen happen as you went into your rage?
I think probably see the druidite like actually activate a little bit in some ways, like kind of glow as the source of eminence for the rage, and see the exhale that particularly happened, and the way that like magic traced itself through that. But it was only really like when it activated, and then it kind of like once the effect was out there, that's what it was. The rest of it is just him fighting.
Brinthar, did you say that was your name?
Yeah.
I'm Rhapsody. I was.
Oh
cooking
right,
the-
finally. We honestly, it was so nice to get the official. It's been a wild morning.
It just started, but yes,
Yeah.
it has. You are the one that's accompanying us to the institute.
Well, I like to think that y'all are really accompanying me on my journey, but yeah, that could also work.
In our balloon.
Okay, yeah, actually, with that logic, your phrase sounds more correct for sure.
Anything in particular you're looking for when you get there?
Yeah, I'm really just, I mean, I don't know if I got a chance to tell you all this earlier, but I'm just trying to climb the Everspore. It's a whole thing. Okay, so I'll tell you this much. I'm supposed to climb it. Just was told that that was my thing. I gotta climb it. I'm special. I'm different. Go on a journey. And so I've been trying to climb the Everspore, and it's really hard. It's really hard to climb a tree that big. And I don't know. There's something keeps happening. I keep slipping on a root, or I keep like getting blown off by a strong breeze. One time I just passed out because I don't know. I don't know. I was really high up and I just kind of fell asleep. And the next thing I know, I fell down.
Has no one ever accomplished this?
I don't think so. None of the things that I've read so far. I mean, that's probably why that's one of the reasons why I want to go to the Institute, is just see if there's any records of anyone who's done it, if there's any sort of advice about it. Maybe if there's like I don't know, do I have to get like the right shoes for it? I don't know. Do I not have the right gear? Like, what's going on?
Could be a shoe related issue.
Yeah, because honestly, I might need I've been seeing some people have been doing I would prefer to be barefoot at all times, but that's not socially appropriate always. So I'm figuring it out.
If only they made shoes for climbing that was like, could mimic like a barefoot in a way. And I bet they'd look really cool, and that people would wear them exclusively for that purpose and not like, on college campuses to like play hackety sackety.
Right. And at no point would a kid in the no, we're not gonna go there. I had a pair at 18 and I wore it all the time. I was that guy. It was me.
I'm 0% surprised.
Yeah. Thank you. But no, yeah, well, I just can't. I'm just looking for advice on how to get to the top. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. I don't know. I don't really believe in fate, but that. I was just told to climb it, and I really respect what Grandpa. Okay, that one's on me. That one slipped out. That one was is on my edge. But yeah, my Gramps told me to climb it, and so I'm trying to climb it.
Who's your Gramps?
He's my dad's dad.
Oh, I didn't know if you were maybe wanting to share a name.
No, I mean, you guys, I just always called him Gramps,
Okay. So you don't believe in fate?
Nope.
When it's very clear that you're maybe even touched by fate.
I don't know about that. I just think things kind of just work out for me. I try to keep a positive attitude. I think in all sense, see what I can do in a bad situation. I mean, I still get nicks and cuts, like he chose to like yeah, exactly. But most of the time, I think and that's what's so darn tough about this Eversport thing. I just thought I could do it. I really just like most things that I've been able to do, just with enough practice, I figure out what I need to improve. I just don't know. And so people keep saying the Institute, oh, they know everything at the Institute. They know it all at the Institute. So I was like, well, I got to get to the Institute. I don't know. I've been kind of taking the long way to get there. I don't know if you all has been on your journey for a while or.
Oh, yeah, for some time. We heard that it was going to be safer to take the route that we took, and somehow I'm not sure that was the case.
No. It seems, now that I think back on it, I took a very direct road from the Institute to the city. This it occurs to me now in hindsight, we could have just gone back that way.
Wow.
Who
But
would have thought?
I mean, you would have missed out on all the good stuff along the way, right? Like you guys had a bunch of good journeys and stuff. I mean,
You
hey, we
had
got to. You met me, right? That's exciting.
Right. No, truly, it has been, for all of its hardship, it has been quite enlightening and quite. Well, we've grown a lot in these past 3 days that we've all known each other. Sorry, month. Month?
A month is a long time to spend.
A month is
pretty
a
much
long
every
time.
waking minute with.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Adeline, you know it was your sense of adventure. You wanted to see new things. And we were told it was a much safer route, so...
And who knows, maybe it was. Maybe had we gone the other route, there not would have been only one city overtaken by undead gnolls, but 2 that we would have had to liberate.
Wow.
Right. And then the... And then there was also that curse that we had to lift from... Right, and... I think it was definitely fate that we went the other way. Think of all the lives that we've touched along the way.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's a pretty good note. Look at y'all. Y'all seem healthy, happy in some capacity.
Right, I'm very badly burnt and blistered right
That's
in
right.
this
What-
moment.
Sure.
Adeline, do you need some help?
Oh, I would love some. I've been trying to breathe like really shallow just to like stop from feeling it fully, but
As you
it's
keep
not. I'm starting to
talking.
get dizzy.
As you keep talking, I'll just kind of rub my hands together and then put them on your shoulders, and I will give you back. Oop, oop. 11 points of healing.
I do feel better.
That's almost double her max.
I still feel like I'm missing something.
Well, what do you want to know?
Lost. I assume you're putting the balloon together.
I am.
Yeah. I figured that's what was going on while we
Just
were
like stood around in a circle.
You all are kind of chummy in the aspect of you keep referring to information that you're not telling us? Is that what I'm getting?
Oh, me? Yeah. Oh, you have no reason to know about my homeland. That's just the whole thing. That's just it.
Oh,
He's
I
guard.
thought it was something far more like dangerous.
No. It's just very precious to me, and I don't want anyone ever finding it out. I've even said too much like that. So, I see that Lost has got this balloon pretty much set up, you know?
Yes,
Do
we
we
can
got
continue our conversation in the balloon.
the same topic about my homeland? We're gonna keep talking the entire... Oh, gosh, guys. There's really a cost to this flight. Okay.
So you're able to get into the basket. It's a fairly big basket for a balloon. It's not like one of our hot air balloons.
Sure.
In the center, there is hanging from strings and atop like a tabletop is like a bowl full of stones with different glyphs and runes on them. And as you watch Lost go through and touch several of them, you watch as they start to like heat up, and you can watch the heat rising off of the stones as the balloon starts to inflate, pulling down on a rope. There's almost like a jet of heat that rushes up into it and starts to inflate the duck-shaped balloon. That you wouldn't have seen, I guess, that it's a duck until now. So as you watch it kind of inflate, it becomes a duck.
This is incredible. I bet everyone thinks you're a bunch of quacks. You haven't gotten that one before? I figured that one you guys get all the time.
I don't
No?
get it.
It's a tumble.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It was funny.
Good. We have a bunch of really bad doctors. No, I gotta stop talking about that. You guys make it really easy to just slip into it. Is this mind magic? Are you someone?
We're just very
That
disarmed.
could work though, couldn't it?
No, it couldn't. It wouldn't. I don't think it would. I really, honestly, I think I'm just immune to it. I think actually, let me look at this. Oh yeah, my gramps told me immune to mind magic. Sorry.
Well, we wouldn't want to lose your trust, so I don't think we would do that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And honestly, I should trust myself more to stop telling you stuff. That's not on you all. That's on me. It's just been a while. Honestly, the Fearbog don't talk much. And I was around a child for a while, and as lost as you got, I like to drink, and that is not an attitude to be having conversations with children with. So it's been a weird. It's nice to be around adults, proper adults, after a long time.
We're adults.
Yeah, proper adults, definitely.
This tiny little halfling is talking to you all about this.
Obviously adults.
And the girls are just into their 20s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come on. I'm 125, so I assume you guys are kind of in a similar range. Oh no. Oh, do you guys? Oh, I'm the baby here. I'm so see. I get it now. Back home, we really lived for a long time, and I can tell you that because I've met some elves and stuff, and they've been around for a real long time as well. But the Fearbog, they lived for a while. But I guess you guys have been living for even longer.
No.
I'm only 26. Do I look like I'm in my hundreds?
Wow.
No, darling.
Wow. You should have seen me at 26. I was only this big.
Anyone proficient in history can give me a history check.
Yes.
I'm not.
16.
16. Yeah, so you would know that halflings usually cap out at 50, 60 years old.
Do you say tap out?
Cap
They-
out.
It occurs to me I've never met one of your ilk who have lived quite a storied life as you have, quite a prolonged life.
Oh, have you met other halflings? Have you met other ones of us?
At least one. No, you've met two.
Yes.
Yes.
We've met two very unpleasant brothers. Well, one of them was particularly unpleasant. The other was fine.
I like that because now there's a real dynamic. You don't know. There's it's a little more difficult to stereotype us because you got a whole mix of personalities. That's great. But I think for me, yeah, I haven't met anyone else besides my family and the folks from back home. And so I've just kind of I've been meeting a lot of cool other people, and with the Fearbog, we also didn't really meet a lot of other people. It was just us, and then stumbling on Alwyn, and then we were like, oh hey Alwyn, and then that was it.
Did your grandfather suggest going to the Institute, or was that someone else?
No, that was so after I couldn't climb the Everspore, I kind of milled around a little bit, and so I found out some other people who were trying it from this town called Firith, and they're like, hey, maybe we heard about this place called the Institute. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I went on a whole thing. I had to go to the town of Mammon and then hop into a boat. And then I remember telling you guys about this. I went past the Isle of the White Sands. Weren't that white. I was telling you right now, they're not that white. They're more eggshell, if anything. And then I landed at Port Aldous. And then at that point, I ran into the Fearbog on my way because the Institute, everywhere I was going, people keep telling me the Institute knows everything. So it just kept more seeming like the right way to go.
right then, you feel a shift under your feet, Brinthar, as the basket starts to actually lift off the ground. And so the basket starts to swing a little, and you have to quickly adapt to sort of your air legs.
Wow. Wow, we are really up there, he said, 2 feet above the ground. We are really getting up here. Wow.
Adeline immediately sits down in a corner.
I don't take it that you're afraid of heights like our dear Adeline is.
No. I've never been afraid of heights, but usually I've been elevating myself so I could see this is actually sitting down sounds great. Let's sit down. And I also sit in the corner.
I want to sit on the edge. Like
On the
like
edge
on
of
the
the
counter,
basket?
like on a counter, but I want to sit like on the edge, like hold on to a rope or something.
Yes. That is
And, like
suggested.
swing my feet.
So, forgive me if I'm asking too many questions, but if you go to the Institute and you find out the information that you need to know, and you come back and you climb the Everspore, is there like a party or...
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. I wonder, maybe Gramps will throw something for me. But honestly, it just felt like a thing to do, and everyone kept telling me to do it because like we could see it from home. And so there's like, oh, you should climb that. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And then I found out its name was the Everspore. I think if I do it, yeah, I'll go back and tell them that I did it. That'd be cool. I'll tell them all the other things that I saw. Now I'm just like more or less being a collection of my adventures.
Is there something at the top of the Everspore? Like something that you're after?
No, not that I'm after. I mean, I kind of been getting a lot of different reports. Some said that like, oh, you could reach the Fey realm. Oh, if you get up there, all the elementals will come together and give you a magic ring that controls all the elements. That guy was on a lot of mead when they told me that, but I don't really know. It just feels like the thing to do, and I haven't really like thought about it otherwise. Just kind of been going with it.
I would like to insight check this information.
Sure. You can roll an insight check. Brinthar, you can roll persuasion or deception. You don't have to say which one it is.
Yeah, I'm just at the edge of the balloon, and I've got like 1 foot up on the rail, so I'm kind of like perched with 1 leg up on the rail, like
So high.
yeah, really high. And I just pull out my drink, kind of like Captain Morganing the thing, and I just pull out my drink, and I hope nobody minds that I'm drinking and flying this, but I'm just take a drink. And
That's what you meant to do, isn't it?
I'd be more worried if you were doing it sober.
I was gonna,
and
In this fantasy
and I hear-
world, absolutely.
I hear all this chatter, and I just lean back and I go, is there any possibility that your grandfather was speaking metaphorically for you just to climb the greatest heights? Like, what's the point of climbing a big tree if there's nothing to it at the top?
Well, the whole thing always was, hey, Brinthar, you're special. We know you're special. You do things other people can't. You can't explain it. And things just kind of like... I had 12 brothers and sisters. All died in a landslide except me. Talk about lucky, I was out on a trip with my mom and dad the next day, and we were going around, and then suddenly 2 bolts of lightning struck them down. I was fine. Talk about lucky, like my entire life. Things have just been worked out for me. And so I kind of haven't questioned it. I've just kind of been going. There's a time when before my gramps got me at the orphanage, it caught fire, and I was the only one who survived. It was just really lucky, guys. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't have any telepathy, but I'm looking at Rose and Roz and Adeline with that look like, should we chuck this guy out of the, out of the balloon? Because I don't want to die. I don't know where get hit by lightning or.
I rolled a 22 insight.
Oh, I rolled a 21 persuasion.
Oh!
Clutch.
What were you insight checking?
What do you want to know?
Like I asked if there was something at the top of the mountain, if he was after something
Oh,
specific,
that's right.
all of
So
that, and then he
whether
kind
he's
of just
telling the truth about what
why he's
what
climbing.
awaits him at the top of the Everspore.
I think from it, the elemental ring thing, Brinthar also does not believe. Like that is not real to him either. But he has been told so many different things about the Everspore, and all he has really been trusting is that, like, his Gram said, you know what, you should climb that. I don't think anyone's done that before, and you're special. Give it a shot. And like, so that has kind of been it. Everything else there of like, I think it takes the Fae thing is the thing that kind of like sticks with him a little bit more. So there's been like more corroboration maybe, but yeah, other than that, that's kind of what we get out of it.
Okay.
I'm going to pretend that nothing bad is going to happen to us in the near future.
Yeah. No, I think honestly, I wouldn't like really take bets that something would bad happen to you. All like the Fearbulb, they were fine for a while, and then like look at us, we took care of them, you know.
So you've never said, is climbing the Everspore something you've wanted to do, or are you just doing something that you're being told to do?
Well,
Are those two the same thing?
that's a good question. I kind of just like existing and being, and part of that has been the journey of climbing the Everspore. So it's been like, hey, go climb it. I was like, okay. And on that way, I get a lot of freedom of doing how I want to do it, and like sort of, it's been interesting. If I could do anything in this world, it would be back at home and be talking to my friends and people that I've known for a while. But I can't do that until I climb the Everspore because of the whole banishing thing. Darn it, I keep
banishing?
talking too much about this, and you guys are so good about getting this information out of me.
Are you banished?
She writing with her feather quill.
You would see, because she's sitting right next to you, you would see Adeline like holding up a little like journal.
Yeah.
And the quill is like magically just writing by itself.
Fascinating. Without even looking at it, can I make a like sleight of hand check to take it and rip it up immediately as the notes are coming up?
Oh,
as
the paper.
like
I thought you meant
yeah,
the quill.
No, the actual like notes. Like you can keep writing. Just every time a page comes done, I like rip it up immediately.
Oh man. Yeah. You can attempt to. How would
Can I
resolve
contest this?
Yes, absolutely. So I guess it would be sleight of hand against like perception.
Sleight of hand against your OCD skill.
I'm going to use
I have
my-
superpowers. You don't even know.
I'm gonna
And
use my lucky feature to roll
Because
that
it's
advantage.
right in front of you as you are writing. I will give you advantage on it.
Ho ho! Your boy's so lucky he got a nat 20. That feels right. That is the last of my luck. Until I sleep. So,
Adeline, pretty strategic, though.
Yeah, I only get a 21.
What is your total?
mine is a 20 plus 3. So that ends up being. And if you go to D&D Beyond and you look at our game log, you can see all my rolls. I don't know if the chat can see that, but if you guys want to keep track of it all. Gosh. Okay, well, I've got to count. Well, I'm no longer lucky. All of that has been gone and used until I sleep.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Adeline, as you're like writing, because you're not looking directly at it,
Right.
because it's writing.
I'm like
by
trying to be
itself.
sly about it while and just like, oh yeah.
Brinthar just kind of like stands up and stretches out, and then just
And
The
are you
sound
immediately-
of
throw it off.
ripping.
Yeah, no records. We can, because I imagine you're gonna forget about this over the journey and stuff. But no written records, please. That's all I ask.
Did you see what she did? We have to kill him.
No,
You can mend the pages?
probably not. He
Not the ones that are going over.
he very much wants to be secret. We can give him that.
I mean, he's already been quite generous with the information he has given us.
It's
Right.
true. It is
Yeah,
so
let
true.
the guy go.
You've been
He
so.
wants to keep. He's in the worst group ever, right? He wants to keep a secret, but you got two radar insight freaks and an inquisitive rogue. This is the worst place to try to keep.
Like
a
suddenly
secret.
there's a swinging lamp over the head. Like
You're a nightmare.
Quick, good cop, bad cop. Bad cop,
because-
worse cop.
Because you beat that with your lucky roll. Rose, you look over the side of the basket because you're like sat there swinging your legs, and you watch the paper like, and a bird comes along and like eats it, and then starts arcing to go the other way, and a hawk comes in and like takes the bird and flies off with it.
Amazing.
Oh. So you were saying you're banished?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm taking everyone else's good luck. Maybe I can't control it, and maybe my good luck is stealing everyone else's good luck. I don't know. It's never been my own thing, you know? I'm not really. So they said, hey, maybe you can figure it out if you climb that thing alone. And Gramps was like, then you can't come back until you do that. And so I was like, oh, God, okay. And I just wish I was back home. This is nice, though. This is not to say you all aren't pleasant people, but man, home is real special. It's not like anything else.
Have you entertained the thought that they sent you there on a mission you can't succeed in? That is
Oh.
extremely dangerous, that might kill you
Oh,
on purpose.
1,000%. All the time. It's a dreading, sort of, just dread that kind of sits in me. But I don't let it stop me. You know what I mean? What if I stop? Then in some ways, I don't know. They win. I don't know if they win is the whole thing, but like the notion of. I've just been doing it for a while now, like, you know, like, and so much so where I also want to know what's up there. I've been doing things no one else can do. I'm figuring out things about myself I'm not sure. And I know for a fact this, where I'm from is special, you know? So like, as I'm seeing everything else around here, all you guys, your petty squabbles, your political intrigue and stuff that keeps happening, you know, I mean, no offense to you guys. I had a reason to whether or not y'all were good, because you were thinking about bartering, using the little girl as a token of like political power earlier.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly? When was this?
You were cooking breakfast.
Yeah,
I
actually,
wasn't cooking
that's
that
not
long.
You got really particular with the omelets.
Which
I
were
was making
great.
sure they were
It felt less like a
delicacies.
breakfast and more like a breakfast. Am I right?
Yes.
Gosh, that is really good.
Mm-hmm. It just came to me.
People
Honestly,
should say that more often. Goodness. Did you think that was gonna turn into something?
I for a second I was like, is that also a physical emote that happened?
I just keep flying the balloon. I
Yeah,
take
yeah.
another chug of my drink, and I just ask Brinthar, is it possible that you're 200 years old and been living
125.
205 and been living rent free at home for all that time? They just wanted to get you out of the house.
Okay,
And so they gave you a crazy.
First and foremost, rent is a new
Impossible.
concept to me. All right, back home we don't have rent because that's weird. That is weird that you charge people to like live on land. That feels weird. I don't know what to say.
I mean, I lived in a temple my whole life. I've never even known the concept of paying where you live.
Thank you. That
People
feels just
don't
like.
own their homes and their estates themselves.
Oh, do
That
I have to pay
explains
for my
a
hair
lot.
now? Is that what's coming up
Rose,
next?
That explains a lot. Because for these last 3 weeks, us getting involved in a lot of things, there's a lack of risk-reward consideration for things we've done.
Well, I think that the right thing to do is to help people. And if we are in a place where people need help, then it's only fate that's brought us there. It's our responsibility to do so.
Exactly. Oh, I actually agree with that because there's also a lot of dead bodies you can loot along the way from the people that you kill, and
It's
that's
actually
how
not
I've been
something
making
that
my
we
money.
do much.
Why have we
You guys
never
don't
thought
loot?
of that?
You guys don't loot people? Oh, that's real nice. I mean, sometimes you feel bad because it's like, oh, engraved to my love, and like, oh, you're never getting this back. I'm sorry. This goblin really had a whole family. But you just kind of move on.
The thought never occurred to any of us to ever loot a body.
I mean, usually
Everyone
the
like taking
things I
bones.
stab or punch to death
Right, you're
have a
taking
lot of-
viscera.
Is that a social taboo? I can murder someone if they come after me, but if I take their stuff after they're dead, that's like no. That's bad news bears.
I actually don't think that's a problem at all, really.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I take people's bones all the time.
Yeah, see that feels probably, and you use it for your like magic and stuff. You like repurpose it, you recycle it back for good use. See
And
that?
I'll point to the cat that's on my shoulder that is just made of bones, and it's just kind of sitting there purring with like a golden hue around it.
I mean, I do all kinds of things with bones.
Wow.
That's
That-
Poppy, by the way. I'm not sure if you've been introduced properly to Poppy.
I would have remembered that. I totally would have remembered. Hello, Poppy. It is nice to meet you. Wow, you are fascinating. May I pet you?
Sure.
Oh wow, you are very bony. I know you were. I was expecting that, but this is a new experience for me. Wow.
Yeah.
Poppy hops down off of Rose's shoulder and starts like nuzzling up against your leg. You hear the
Oof, that
purring,
is- yeah.
but the purring sounds more like two bones kind of knocking against one another.
Oh, this is oddly like a massage. It's really like it was very
It's
steady.
like combing your feet
Yeah.
with the bones.
It's honestly, well, it comes up to my knees because the distance is not too
that's
far,
right.
so it's like very,
Nice
very
kitty.
up close. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, good bud.
Yes. Well, I don't have a problem with you taking things off of bad people.
Mhm.
I just want to be specific there.
Oh, to be fair, I don't make judgments about the people that I've murdered. I don't know if they're good or bad. I just take the stuff off of them.
But you have a purpose to murder them.
No,
right?
no. My purpose isn't murdering them. They just happen to come after me in some way,
Oh,
and then I'm
as
like
long as there's
defending
a
myself.
reason. You're not
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm just the victor, and to
killing.
the victor goes their spoils. It's kind of a rule of nature in a way. Like the lion, like eats from. I've watched a lot of natural occurrences happen. Like the lion will eat its prey, and then it will leave, and the scavengers will come, and then they'll pick at it, and then the bones will get digested and sort of turned over, and everything cycles. And so me looting is part of the cycle, you know?
How could it decompose with all of the shiny bits still attached to it?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And then what? You know what? Sometimes I'm very fair. I see a crow, give them a coin. You know, they keep me a little presence and company. But the rest of them, they're gonna choke on the bits and baubles. They can't eat that.
it's a waste of good shiny things.
Yeah, and I can use that for this thing called rent. I didn't even, because once again, I don't know what rent is. It feels weird. And why does it go up all the time? Why is that a thing that's always happening?
So that you constantly struggle and never can make it.
See,
We play this game for escapism, you guys.
See, I just want to go home. Things are different in Shrewsbury Hollow. It's a lot easier. It's much simpler. Why are you looking at me like that?
No reason. Just wanted to write that down.
Just kidding. I didn't write anything. I don't have paper.
That's Betty writing it down.
So, they told you can't go back home until you do that thing. But it's obviously you miss your home.
Yeah.
There's no resentment? You're just gonna go back and everything would be hunky-dory again?
Oh, no, I got a long list of people I got trouble with. Don't you worry about it. I'm gonna make things right when I get there. But, I mean, until then, I gotta get there. You know, I can't... But I'm also... I've missed it. It's been so long. It'd be nice to, like... I would love to argue with Grandpa again. Like, that would be a nice feeling, you know?
I think that maybe it would be a good idea for us to accompany you, just in case, you know, once you do your climb and you have what you need, and then we can go with you and provide support.
Oh, thank you so much, but you will never step foot in my homeland. I really appreciate that. Was
Well,
very
neither
slick
will
of you.
at this rate,
That was very. I do appreciate the support constantly. Also, I don't know what would happen to you on the Eversport if, like, I don't know, this, like, you keep talking about fate and, like, and I don't know if it was your fate to, like, get struck by lightning while I'm climbing the Eversport. You know, I can't always control what happens and stuff. It's safer usually if I travel alone. Like, this is nice, but.
Are you saying that you're the one who brings the lightning?
Well, no, that's what the naysayers say. That's what the people back home who were
Does
a
it
part
come
of, like,
from you?
they think it's from me, and I don't know, so maybe it's from me. Like, you know, I can't confirm or deny that truth. Sometimes, I mean, like, one time,
because you're a hazard to the community.
sometimes I just can't. I don't know. It's no really, like, I don't choose when I turn into a flaming halfling and set everything around me on fire if I get really mad. Like, you know, I don't choose what the magic does. It happens. And so they were like, oh, maybe if you go talk to someone at the top of the mountain, they'll help you get control of it. I don't know.
We're effectively in a wicker basket, hundreds of feet above the air, and you're talking about turning into a ball of fire. How about, hey, buddy, hey, you feeling calm?
Thank you, because it's honestly, it was rising a little bit, and
Actually, I don't want to know anything about your homeland or anything that could potentially stress you out. Actually, hey.
This is nice. It feels a little insincere, but I like the appreciation of it. I do.
I've never been accused of insincerity in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. Would you like to hear a very relaxing fact about birds?
And so, with taking down Brinthar's blood pressure as you travel across the Cloudburst domain, that is where we're going to take our 10-minute break. Please do stick around. We will be right back after this break. Yep, I thought I had something to say, but I didn't. See you in a bit.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back. We are still the Fables of Gahlia. Welcome in, Von Kowski's Oddities. Thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate you, friend. So, as we left off, the Fellowship of Fate. I believe that's still the name we're workshopping.
Nice.
Like 2 years in.
Turn it on.
Okay.
I thought it was just because of the addition of the halfling, but I like that
That's
it's
true.
The
Fellowship is complete now.
Yeah.
Am I Legolas?
No, because you can't shoot a bow or shit.
Yeah.
It's true.
Rhapsody sitting in the corner with all their, like, throwing things, just like Paul also with Lost just sitting at the side. No, I guess it's not us.
So, as we left off, you guys were flying high above the ground in your duck balloon, all quizzing our new friend Brinthar on his origin and goals in life. Pretty heavy topics to get into right off the bat. But as that conversation came to a close, wanting to keep Brinthar nice and calm so that no wild magic happened. Is there anything you guys would like to do for the rest of the day while journeying, be it speaking or doing an action or anything like that?
Hey, Brinthar, it's gonna be a long trip.
Yeah.
Want a drink? And I hand him my alchemy jug.
I have no reason to doubt that this is anything but liquor. So
Yeah.
yes, I would.
I-
Thank you. I really.
I might avoid that nozzle, because that's full of white creamy stuff. Avoid that nozzle
Uh-huh.
because that's a lot of oil.
Okay.
Avoid that nozzle because it's a little sour.
Okay.
And so I'm just pointing out
Which
that one
nozzle
nozzle-
should I just drink from?
uh,
Which nozzle do you like?
the one with the residue of wine on the rim.
Okay.
That's the one that I favor. And then there's the beer nozzle that I don't drink from too often.
I'll have some of the wine nozzle. That feels nice, and I will try to roll for wine. I don't know what I have to do to accomplish that. Yeah.
Are you being truthful with which one you're pointing to? Lost?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Yeah. So the alchemy jug is just a sort of like amphora shaped jug with all of these different nozzles with corks in it.
Right.
So if he's pointing out to the one, you can pull a cork.
It looks like the
and,
wildest bong ever.
It's incredible. I haven't seen anything outside of the home like this in a long time. This is really fascinating. Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I try. I take some. And oh, thank you so much. That's so nice. Oh gosh. Well, but what about you all? Why are you all going to the institute? What's bringing you all there?
Well, it's kind of the end of the road. Well, it's home. It's homecoming, not the end of the road. I feel like, well, we've got a lot left to do, but yes. Originally, I set out to deliver a missive on behalf of the institute, and I was to return promptly afterwards. I'm returning a month afterwards and some change, so that's I'm sure it's gonna be fine. I'm sure that my parents are gonna be fine with that. I'm sure that they're like cool with it, that I'm not gonna be in trouble or anything, right? No, this is home. I'm quite excited to see my family, see my little brother.
And so the rest of you all are they the boss then? Do you guys like get paid from, or how, or do you guys like, why are you all also going to the institute? Is it just because they want to go?
Oh, well, me personally, I'm from a temple through the Blackwood. In fact, that's my name, Rose Blackwood.
Oh.
And that is the Fate Spire, and I'm a cleric of Eastus, the goddess of fate, and so I'm sure that can connect some dots for you there.
Sure. I don't know anything about your gods, but I'm going to take your word for it.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I was having some visions. Very disturbing visions. And I was charged with a journey to find out what those visions mean.
Mm-hmm. That I get.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a copper skull?
No, I don't think I have. I don't know if I have to roll a history check on it, but I don't think Brinthar has seen a copper skull.
No.
Yeah.
I've been having visions of this creature with a copper skull, literally tearing holes in the tapestry of time.
That is heavy.
Yeah.
Lost, you share this jug with everyone? Because that feels jug worthy. I don't know. That feels every night when you go to bed, you dream about this copper skull.
Well, not every night.
Okay, well that's because I feel like I need my 8 hours. I don't know how you would do it if that was like.
I mean, I'm good on 4, but
What? Wow.
Could not be me.
No, impossible.
Both Lost and I, we only need the 4. Anyway, so
4 hours of sleep and 4 hours of calisthenics, and I'm good.
I don't do the calisthenics. I pray. But that's a month or so ago, I left to do so
Nice.
with my
Okay.
sister, who's no longer here on this plane.
I'm so sorry
That's
for your loss.
another story. She's not, well, she was dead to begin with, so I don't really know how to. Anyway, that's another story for another time. So I'm still trying to find the answers. And we have some things we've picked up along the way that we think people at the Institute could potentially help us find the answers. And
Sure.
we
They have all the
continue-
answers there, right? They know everything.
I mean, that's what we have heard as well. Adeline's really, talked it up for us, so I think that it'll be fine. And there seems to be an issue as well. And I'm just going to continue, I'm going to tell him about how there are instances where the planes are kind of colliding and things are happening, and I'll explain all of the.
Adeline pulls out her notes with the map and all the points.
You get a bit of a download, and when you hear the planes colliding thing, and you hear Winter kind of chime in about the Eversport, and it's there was a time where it seemed like there were some nights where it seemed easier to climb, and then some nights it was harder, and I don't know what the reason was for that, but it seems like if things are in flux, maybe that's the thing. Maybe there's a proper. I've been climbing at the wrong time of the year. Maybe there's something about I gotta wait till. Okay, now I got some good questions to ask at the Institute. This is gonna be fun. Yeah.
Ryan, didn't you say that there's talk of potentially the Fey realm at the top of the Eversport?
Yeah, allegedly, that's the big thing that I've been hearing. That's you could reach them. I think maybe they can figure out what's going on with me and why I can do what I can do. That could be pretty interesting.
Can I ask you a question that you're probably not going to answer?
You can try, yeah, absolutely. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Great forwarding. I love that.
Yeah. I'm pretty perceptive and I listen with people and everything they say. And you said something about your Gramps picking you up at an orphanage.
Yeah, he claimed me after it burned down. He sort of found me. I think there was this whole thing that, I don't really believe in prophecy, so I didn't really give it a lot of stock. But he was coming out of the woodwork because I needed him and thought this was part of the journey. And yeah, that's kind of what I got out of it. I kind of went in one ear out the other after a while. It was just you're special. And I was I get it, Gramps. And then he's you're banished. And I was why? He said, you're special. And I was okay. So that's, yeah.
Kind of some mixed signals there.
A little bit. It's been a real head twister on the journey,
Yeah. How many years ago was that?
Gosh, a little over 2. It's been a while that I've been on the road. Not too long, I don't think I look too.
He adopted you 2 years ago?
No. I've just been on the journey for 2 years. He adopted me 115. It was a while ago.
Oh, okay. Okay. And have you always had these instances
Yeah. Always special in that way. Always really peculiar, but always coming out unscathed, unharmed, or maybe with a little nick or a scratch, but otherwise pretty darn okay.
Okay.
Bryn,
Sorry, I didn't mean to start asking about you again. It just kind of sent. We were talking about the planes, and
Yeah, I figured it was good mention. No, and I appreciated the forewarning about it. Also, Adeline, you seem like you wanted to ask about something.
Well, more of a warning, I suppose. The protrusions from your arms.
Yeah,
They're of a. Are you familiar with the nature of it?
I am aware that they are special, and I'm aware that sometimes I like to wear long sleeves to make sure that not other people notice them. Because, the gleam that some guy tried when I got drunk with him one night to and then he got a knife to try to carve out of my forearm, and then I carved him up with my axe. It was a whole thing. He was actually the first person I looted, and that felt really nice. That felt, yeah. And he points to his jacket that he's wearing. This actually used to be his. This was really a whole thing. It was I modified it to fit my proportions, but yeah.
Yes, I think the sleeves might be a good idea. Because not only is that material quite powerful, but you've run into instances where it's extremely sought after. And I've reason to believe that there are individuals at the Institute who might be involved in its extraction and trade, and would. Well, I fear that they'd want to study you.
Oh, that was my worst fear about the Institute. They always people. Okay, thank you. This was a real big advice. Okay, so I just won't tell them about anything. Honestly, you guys can do all the talking. Why don't you guys ask about the Everspore for me?
Yeah.
I'll just be around and I'll just kind of be in the area. That'd be great.
Brenda,
It's a
I'm happy to shepherd you through my contacts. There are people that we can trust. My family, for one. And you're not the only one who has something to hide. And she kind of adjusts her sleeve down too, and you catch just a glimpse of a purple scar that kind of winds around her wrist, and she pulls it down and kind of just buttons things a little bit closer. So we'll both be quite under wraps.
I like that. Under wraps. That would be great. And I mean, it feels like with y'all around, you guys know a pretty good lay of the land. Well, I was gonna ask Lost Rhapsody, what do you all need from the Institute? Is there anything you guys want to ask them about?
I don't need anything from the Institute.
he has to stay.
I'm here because, as I mentioned before, we tend to attract a lot of trouble. And that's conducive to my goals. I would like my name to be known all across the world. All the fame, all the glory. Yes.
Wow, that sounds impressive and also a little daunting. But I trust you. I believe in you. I feel like that's gonna be great.
Yeah. And if you don't climb that tree first, I might just have to beat you to it.
Okay, Lost. We've been friends for a while now, so I really don't want to have to can we not be competitive on this thing that is yours? It's been very nice besides the intense interrogation, but it's my one thing. It's the one thing about me that I'm doing is I'm climbing the Everspore. Okay?
But there's so much acclaim to it. Nobody's ever climbed the Everspore. Imagine Lostaroth, the first to climb the Everspore.
Calm down. What do you want from the Institute, bud? What's your thing, huh?
I don't really have anything I'm seeking from the Institute. I'm from the Temple of the Flowing Sands. I believe it's the same continent as the Everspore, but
Oh.
I've never been there.
Yeah, I've never been there.
and this is more or less an adventure of me, self-discovery, if you will. Getting out, experiencing the world, learning about myself, that sort of thing.
I like that. That feels pretty nice and just sort of taking it where it takes you, right?
Yes.
I can't wait to show you my closet, Rhapsody.
Your closet?
I have so many clothes. They're so nice.
I
You're
bet you
gonna
have
have
a
such
whole
a good
room.
time.
Bet you have a whole room for ribbons.
And it's not a room. It's a closet. It
Separate.
is a walk-in closet, so I suppose you could say it's like a small room in a way. But yes, you know, it's next to the one for shoes.
You have different closets for different things that you wear that's just filled with those things.
How
I
else
think
do you...
closets is another word for drawers. That's what we're talking about, like in
You
a
can
little
take
dresser.
cleanse.
Yeah, that makes sense. People gotta take a hold of. I had like 2 pairs of shoes back home. And so I had to travel light, so I just took the one. But back home, I had a whole closet. I'm getting that word right, just for one shoe, and then a whole closet right underneath it for the other one.
I mean, again,
Yep.
nobody understands the concept of money. You'd rather put shoes and ribbons in there instead of renters? I don't understand.
It's not about people living out of my closet. It's a chap attached to my bedchamber.
So it's Ted.
Well, my
Small.
dressing room is attached to my bedchamber. There is a bit of a hallway between that leads to like private bath, but But then there is the corridor that attaches then to my brother's wing.
Wait.
Adeline, you brought something to my attention that I hadn't considered beforehand. Notably, we weren't trying to conceal Druidite until now. But with Druidite being fairly magically adjacent, would the people at the Institute have a way of tracking that? Like, would they know it would be on Brenthar?
Well, yes, any beginners detect magic would flag it immediately, and the particularly adept might be able to just sense it as a source.
It's not always on, if that helps.
It might help. Yes. You bring up a good point, Rhapsody. I think we should be, well, I was gonna say low-key in our arrival, but, dark. So, but if we go, we'll be arriving late, and we'll go straight to my house, and from there we can make sure that we're only seeing the most trusted of contacts. But I do think that's a good point. Perhaps you shouldn't just wander about on your own.
Sure, I can stick with the group. I can, blend in somehow. Puts the hood up, pulls the sleeves down. Incognito, I'm got it. I traveling with the Fearbolg got me pretty stealthily navigating about. So, unless it's like a super urban environment, that's like a new thing for me. I think I'm gonna be great.
Brenthar, can I just look at one of your arms in an non-weird way?
Okay, as long as those knives don't come out. As nothing sharp comes out, you're fine. Yeah. Any rolls up the sleeve?
So when it's shown, Rhapsody wants to see if when he's not like raging, if it gives off like spent or like tapped out Druidite look kind of to it, or if it's like regular, just not glowing.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like spent, but it's almost it's not glowing brightly like you saw when Brenthar went into the rage. It's just kind of like innate. It's just there. It's not it doesn't have that sort of dull look to it, like the spent crystals that you'd seen before when it was like heavily used, but it's also not like glowing like the really unstable druidite that you've experienced before as well. It's just kind of like in this sort of happy medium stasis right now, whether it has like a bright teal look to it, but there's no glow. So like when he puts his shirt down, it's not like glowing through like the thin shirt or anything like that.
I mean, Brinthar, can't you just keep your sleeves down and just
That's
tell
how I've
people
been
you have,
honestly.
tell people you have magical tribal tattoos that you're ashamed of?
Oh, okay. That's a thing I can really run with. What's something shameful that I could have tattooed on me? No getters.
I can't think of a thing.
Okay, well that makes it a little tougher. You know, maybe the mystery is powerful enough. Maybe that'll be the
What
thing.
if you had a tattoo of a bottom?
Oh, naughty. That is funny. I would never disgrace the temple that is my home with such a thing. But that is good to know in some ways that I could tell people that. I'm
Right.
not that good at lying, but I could try.
I just want to see, and I'll just cast detect magic at will now. Can I see the stones?
Yeah, what level are you casting it at?
I was just gonna do default level. What level is that? Oh, just first level.
First level.
Brinthar just went
First
through a
level.
phase. He has a bunch of ex-partners tattoos all over his arm.
It's been a wild 2 years. I'll tell you
Some of
what.
them are on there multiple times.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a rough month.
Brinthar's running out of forearm. 120 years, man. There's a lot of
Yeah,
access.
it's a lot of. And it's a small town. That's the worst thing about it.
Gone through 3 times. Like.
Yeah.
Anyway, detect magic. You do pick up a magical aura, but you don't get back. Like usually, when you hit detect magic, you're able to decipher where it is and what kind of magic is being emitted. This, like, it seems like it keeps changing. The type of magic, like it's never like you're like it's different again. And every time you think you've got a peg on it, it's different. But it does kind of give off, right now, it gives off the same kind of magic that you use, that you would pick up on if it was a magical item or something like that. The only weird thing is that when you focus on that, the type of magic keeps changing.
Do I know of any? I'm thinking of like, okay, stay with me here. It's like,
Going on a journey, all right.
yeah, I just have to explain, and the only way I can explain it is through an analogy. You know those things, like a cell jammer that you have that like jams cell phone signals? Is there a thing like a
Magic jammer.
cell jammer? Or like, but something that like magic users could use to like confuse. Like, do I know of anything that would function like that?
Yeah. There would be enchantments that could be put on an item
Okay.
that would kind of block against certain levels of the spell. Like for a detect magic or any kind of like magical detection ability would kind of be blocked at a certain level. So
You
that
do-
if people cast it just like as like a first level like you did,
Right.
they probably wouldn't pick it up.
You do give off a distinctly magical aura that is.
Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment.
Right. And literally as well. But it is hard to pin down. There are certain enchantments that could help to obfuscate the detection, but I'm not adept in them myself. But my parents might know somebody.
What if we had someone enchant a coat? Maybe the coat he's wearing
Right.
has almost like a shield.
Yes, I think that might be a good idea, and it will make traveling safer, as far as at least to keep your detection against magic users.
Thank you. This is so kind of you all. This is so generous, and I really appreciate it. It truly feels so lucky for me to be here with you all for this. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, our meeting was definitely fate. I'm glad that
Pretty good
we-
luck.
Yeah.
I can't with these two.
Is Adeline just like, is this how it is with me and Rose?
I'm like in my head, like doing like the probability of like, well, I mean, there's only so many people in the world, so like mathematically, we probably would have run into each other.
And I start to take the balloon into a descent because I see the institute.
Do you?
I love that. I love that.
Is that true? Yeah. If you guys don't have anything else like to
think so.
say or do or
Well-
anything, that, okay.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
All right, go on. We'll do.
Can
we'll do
we
robin.
collectively decide that we will land without like in a space that's not an eye shot of the institute and walk in? Maybe store the balloon outside of the
Oh,
area.
we're gonna make
I
a
think
grand
the
entrance.
plan was to get a little bit outside, and like with the time that you lost being able to get going initially as well, and the time that you lost in the air battle as well, you're likely going to get like maybe an hour or two outside.
And then that ounce.
That's hardly.
That is wild.
I guess from perspective, it doesn't know.
Yeah. No thumbs. Like it can't even be Lego. It has to be zero.
Barbie
thumbs.
hands only.
Yeah, Barbie hands. Yes.
Would get you a couple of hours outside of the institute as nightfall was coming down. So, like roughly the time that you don't want to be flying.
I think it would be the best idea. Only
I know,
because-
but my little brother would love to see a giant duck out his bedroom window.
Is there like a off-campus place that your family owns that's close? Why am I talking like you?
This our family staples are a bit removed from the main house.
Like far enough away to where it wouldn't draw much attention if we landed there.
Yes,
you won't,
if it-
make,
Flying
it,
over
you won't make
the-
it to the institute before nightfall.
Yeah.
we have to land before we're there.
Well, we do have, you know, the tiny abode of magic and I'm working on the title.
Or
If you
Uh,
wanted, like, to clarify, if you wanted to get there in the same night, you would just land and then walk like the
Walk.
1 to 2 hours to get there.
Oh,
you think? I mean, I don't know how these things work, but if Rose could contact your parents to have them pick
well, I
us
can
up-
contact them.
Oh. If you could contact your parents to have them pick us up there, so then your brother could see the duck, and then we can all go
Oh.
back to
This is great problem solving.
I suppose it's just all a bit indecorous to show up and then immediately have to ask for a lift. Like, you know.
Adeline, you have to pick your battles, really.
Right, and I'm not picking this one. We can walk.
So you don't want your brother to see the duck?
I'll tell him about the duck. I just thought we were like flying in and gonna be like, oh, who's that in the duck?
Whoa.
Oh, it's Adeline. I bet she has a lot of cool friends up there with her.
They've thought about this a lot. I've thought about my grand return quite a bit, so I get this. You know, and
There's like a whole fanfare. The
Sure.
fireworks, I'm not sure how I was going to arrange that to happen. And honestly, fireworks near a balloon may be a bit dangerous in actuality.
It
But
would be
I just
glorious
It was
and
kind
the
of be-
talk of the town.
Yeah.
Right.
And honestly, we could try our luck and see if we could kind of navigate through. If you want to like really give it a shot.
Is anyone gonna see it in the dark?
Oh.
that, and also, you know what? It occurs to me now that one of our primary haters potentially has ties to here and also thinks we're dead. So maybe coming in a duck and being like, "Oh, we're actually alive, loser," is not the most like subtle way. Not that I think he's here, but
Yeah.
I mean, he definitely has like. But though he might be, we should be prepared for that possibility.
Stunning on your haters is a big motivator for me. I get it.
See, I think about
Yeah.
if I'm about anything, it's about stunting on my haters.
Yeah, I get that. I really do. So if we see this fella along the way, you know, I got your back 1,000%.
Thank you so, Brimba. You really understand me.
I'm a simple guy. Just stop asking me about my home, and we're gonna be great.
Adeline, it also occurs to you that if you were to fly the balloon in, it would set off Waldron's defenses.
Right. Oh, yes, and then yes, we'll be cut into tiny ribbons and set on fire for ages, because that's what they allege, that like the defenses.
That sounds like his kind of luck.
I mean, we could probably get through it. You actually knowing my
You.
luck, I would. Yeah, exactly. And
Right.
so
Not
that
the
doesn't. No, we can just land. I've been learning sometimes the safe route is also the fun route.
Well,
You know what? That's kind of true for our journey. We can call it that. We took the safe route, and it was. A
Fun?
lot of it wasn't fun. A lot of it, you know, some of it was.
we could think of something to give you that, you know, big return. We are a group of bad asses.
An entourage. Ooh, that's always fun.
I just realized I didn't get anyone in my family a gift on my travels.
That is bad.
We
Lost.
have all kinds of
Bad.
Quick, the little figurine that takes pants off. I need to give it to my 9-year-old brother.
You also have a conch shell that says, "I went to Hunger's Edge and had a shell of a time."
You're welcome. You're
You're
welcome.
right. You know what? You're right. This conch shell, I've been waiting for the perfect occasion. And this is it. If there's anything the Beaumonts love, it's novelty conches.
They probably don't even have one of those where you're from. Now think about that. That would be the first one that they ever got.
I bet it will be. That's very true.
But you get the family that has everything.
Novelty conch.
Yeah. Dang, I got the singing gas.
This
Oh.
episode of Fables of Gahlia is sponsored by Novelty Conches.
I wonder if you can make one on Hero Forge.
Can you make it so that when you blow into it, it says novelty conch? That's the dream.
That's really funny.
Yeah.
I would buy that. Like, actually. Hold on, I'm writing that down.
Anyway. that's everything that everyone wanted to do. Specifically, yeah, the sky starts to darken as the sun begins to set. You do get those nice like pinks and oranges kind of mixing through the sky and behind the clouds that are constantly moving around in the cloudburst domain, and night starts to fall, and so you do start to bring the balloon into its descent. As is safe right now, you find a spot, you're able to take the balloon down. You guys kind of like get jostled as the basket kind of comes into contact with the ground. Like, no matter how softly you put it down, it's still coming into contact from being in flight.
Everybody claps like on an airplane.
Yeah. I am that person, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
You didn't kill me.
Yeah. They say it's the hardest part. It really did.
Landing is the most dangerous.
Having just been on a couple of like really bad landings on the way in and out of Houston, that was yeah.
I should start withholding my claps for that same reason. Like, if it's really rough, it's like, no, this one actually didn't get it. Like,
You don't. You gotta make sure they see it too.
yeah.
That whole thing
Like,
is everyone's
turns around in
exiting the
cockpit,
airplane.
like,
So like,
single tear in the pilot's eye.
Oh.
You
Silly
find a
one.
spot to put the balloon down. Lost, you're able to like. What's the idea here? Are you like trying to hide the balloon?
Yes.
You're able to. So with the size of the basket and the size of the balloon, you could probably like between you kind of fold the like balloon part down,
Okay.
and then roll it into the basket.
And then we'll find some foliage and whatnot to cover it up. Yeah.
And I'm gonna put a glyph of warding on it.
Wait. But would that destroy it if it goes off?
No,
It'll
Oh,
destroy
okay.
the person that comes across it.
Awesome,
no,
okay.
it doesn't have to do that. It can I can do a 3rd level spell that I ask it to do if I ask it to do that. What I actually am gonna do is explosive runes. So, it's when triggered, it erupts with magical energy, 20-foot radius,
Mhm.
sphere.
Mhm.
They just have to make a dexterity or take 5d8 acid damage, whatever.
Does it affect everything in that radius?
Not what it's protecting.
Okay. Cool.
You guys would know that that's what Kaya walked into at the opening of the cathedral. So, you put the deadly spell protection over your duck balloon, and begin your walk towards the Institute. Sun begins to set, and you get this like dark night sky as you are a fair way into your walk. Is there anything you want to do before you get to the Institute?
within 10 minutes of entering, I would love to give myself a little bolstering magic, which is like
Okay.
the same thing, but whenever I make an attack roll and an ability check, I can also maybe add a D3 to it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Just bear that in mind.
Yeah, and also like truly, if it's only 10 minutes, so if nothing happens in the first 10 minutes, I can't do it anymore.
If that's it, then you guys.
Well, I'm gonna ask Adeline. Can you freshen me up?
Yes, you all have to be much more presentable. And she'll go and prestidigitation and spend a few minutes like mending things, and she'll go over to Rhapsody and be like, "You're perfect, don't worry." Go over everything, and it's just kind of like obsessively fixing her own stuff. She goes over Lost a few times with prestidigitation, just like deep
It's like,
clean.
Oh no, that is okay.
That's just okay. It's like a
That's
patina.
like max. Yeah, so you're able to go around and prestidigitate the rest of the party, and you guys walk on to see what Adeline knows as the Institute of the Arcane. No one else has been here before, but what you can see in this, like in the dark of night, is a tall, maybe 15, 20 foot stone wall that encapsulates, like as far left and right as you can see, this just solid wall. Those of you, no, it's going to be too far away. Yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to see much beyond every.
That was
Barely.
just barely. You gotta be more strict with your thumbs, my dude.
But it's even. But we tested it. Like this wouldn't do it. Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has to be. Yeah.
But that was why. Like that shit.
Oh, rein in that wayward thumb, man.
I gotta tape them
Stop
down
away.
before I go on. So as I was saying, yeah, you probably wouldn't be able to see anything much beyond that that wall, even with dark vision. Those of you that have it, but you come within sort of 5 feet of this solid wall that goes across. No sign of doors or windows or gates anywhere. Adeline, this doesn't phase you at all, and so you walk up to Waldron, which is the sentient wall that encapsulates the entire city-state of the Institute.
Just like
which you have always fondly referred to as Wally.
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 Wow.
What do you do as you approach?
Oh, Wally, it's so nice to see you. I've been away for so long.
And you get a general sense of like reciprocated feeling. Like it doesn't have a mouth or anything like that. It's like, but it's able to sort of project emotion and intent.
Could you let me and my friends through? We're very eager to get home.
And you watch as like brick by brick, like it starts to fold away and leaves this like semi-translucent but clear, like almost like a gel that has like ripples going through it, that you can see buildings on the other side of it. You do know that this portal, it's a portal, but it literally just passed through it. It will pick up on, it's an empathetic barrier. So it will pick up on emotional intent as you walk through. And anything that it deems a threat is communicated to the Institute. You also know that Wally has the capability for you to ask questions, and it can project the sort of the memories of the Institute in front of you. So it can sort of play scenes out in front of you. Almost like in a museum, you know, when you get there and you got your headphones on, you push the button, and it like tells you about it. Kind of like that, but visually.
Cool.
You're such a good Wally, so talented. Now, important to note that your intent is very important, so everyone think good thoughts, good non-threatening thoughts. Non-threatening thoughts. She looks at Lost. Of just homecoming, visiting with my family, a nice dinner, comfy
The only
bed.
thing I'm going to attack is the fancy liquor cabinet.
Ooh, I like that. That's a good intent. That is my intent. I like that.
Okay, yeah, yes. And it will be given freely, so no thoughts of like stealing it or anything like that. Is there anything you want to know? Wally's happy to tell. Oh, Wally, did I miss anything important? What's the latest goss?
Oh wow. So it doesn't quite work like that. It's more like it's more like large events that have happened, like historical things that have happened, rather than Susan.
But I mean, like,
People wearing the
Rosie,
same dress crossing on the street at the
That's
same
pretty
time.
historical. All right. You curious about anything? I mean, you are here to learn. Everyone's here to learn.
I have a lot of questions, but I don't think the wall knows anything about the Everspore, unfortunately.
Well, I don't know. The information does seem to be quite localized.
Yeah. But I could ask. I mean, hey, Wally, do you know anything about the Everspore?
And you, Brinthar, you get a sort of not a negative sense, but almost like it's like a no is being communicated to you, but you kind of feel it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. That was very, very kind of you to put it that way. I had a feeling, but I'm sure someone else might know in the inside. Yeah.
How does this work? Is it magic?
Duh.
What type of magic?
What time are
Like, is it mind magic or just an enchantment?
I'm immune to mind magic. Remember, my grandpa told me.
Right.
Right, we'll test that out.
I don't think we need to. I really don't think that needs to be tested, but
We will.
So the empathetic barrier kind of works almost like a detect thoughts, where it picks up on like surface. It doesn't really pick up on thoughts, but it picks up on those like emotional intentions.
Rhapsody is going to try to use class silence and see if he can connect with the wall.
Okay. So, Brinthar, you would see, like, as you pull away some of your, like, silks and things, these two sort of stone-looking hands with these blue circles on the back of them sitting around Rhapsody's neck. And over the next minute, they slowly clasp over his mouth and like join and fuse there. You go to
that
connect.
is a first.
You go to connect with Wally. It is not a creature, and so you are unable to connect with it.
But you can with us.
Wally, show them the founders of the Institute and it coming into formation to get them, oriented.
Yeah, and so, okay, so what you get is this sort of play out of a war that happened within what is now known as the Jalin Republic, where it was all split, and so they were all sort of feuding with one another, and that became this sort of civil war, but on like almost like 5 different fronts. which was decimating the area around there. And there was this one halfling called Jalin, who managed to broker peace between the different areas of the Jalin Republic, what is now known as the Jalin Republic. Formed the Republic, and there was welcome in, Raiders. Chaotic Wholesome presents welcome in.
Thanks for raiding.
And so from there, what was decided was that because the lack of wisdom of the leaders is what led to the war beginning in the Jalin Republic, that there should be a neutral area and a representative from this neutral area, which is centered on knowledge and wisdom, to reside within each of the large cities that form the Jalin Republic. These are the high mages of the Institute, sort of teachers that ascend to a level of mage that is so far above like a professorial level that they are immensely powerful in their craft. And so they've accumulated all of this knowledge and wisdom, and so they're able to help guide the leaders of the different nations within the Jalin Republic, because it's thought that with wizards and sorcerers and things so powerful and so like centered on their own knowledge and wisdom, that they're able to see so many steps ahead that they can guide the leaders so that they don't take actions which then result in another war happening. Sure. And so that was that center, which then they needed to pull in more talent, sort of innate talent that is found from across all of Gahlia and then brought in to teach. So there are some kids in the school who live without their parents. They are sort of picked up from various areas across Gahlia and brought there almost on like scholarships. And then there are sort of the institutional families and things that have been generations within there, which are kind of just like, you get brought in through that. And that was the formation of the Institute, the Arcane. And then as it grew larger, it became sort of its own city-state rather than just the center for Arcane. And so it has, in front of the main sort of wizard towers of the Institute, became a large, bustling city around it as well.
Incredible.
The whole time this is happening, Adeline's like, "Oh, this is my favorite part," and she's like reciting along with it, like, "Oh, watch this, watch this."
Wow, this is incredible. I will take a lot of this back. This is such great. And you know what's wild is that there really are people who know a lot who have always been here. So there's probably someone who knows about the Eversport here, I imagine, because that thing's been around for a while. I'm sure your stuff's, we could find some cool things out here. Yeah.
Are we ready? I'm quite eager to get home.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone remember good thoughts. Positive, non-threatening thoughts. All right. And she'll kind of backwards walk into the thing, like still
Homer
like
Simpson through the
yeah.
through the gateway. Yeah. And so as you walk through it, it kind of like bows a little bit against your back and then like falls forward. And so you're able to push through. Nothing is on you or anything like that. It's sort of metaphysical. But you're on the other side and you can see through it. Your friends are on the other side. They're kind of like looking through a dirty window sort of blurred and things, but yeah.
I walk through.
Yep. So again, so you push against it, and you can feel the gateway sort of bowing, and then as you get a certain distance in, it forms back, and you are through. Adeline is in front of you.
Welcome.
Are we doing everyone else?
Yeah,
Sure.
everybody. I'm walking through. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
Do it at the same time?
Expedite that a little bit.
Yeah. We all actually step in line and then do it all at once.
Like a conga?
Yeah, except for
yeah, and so you are on the inside of the Institute, the Arcane, the city-state, and you watch as those bricks that folded away are on the interior wall, and they start folding back in and seal where you were.
Oh, it's like a prison.
Ooh, it's safety, it's security. Wally does a good job keeping us safe. Thank you, Wally.
Does
Ah.
Wally answer to everyone? Would he open for me?
Yes?
Okay.
I don't know.
It would, as long as your intention was still good. If there was any sort of threat. So the idea is, if you manage to get inside, but your intent was to do harm, like if you were trying to assassinate a high mage or anything like that, on your way out, it would not open.
Sure. Got it.
Oh, so like a prison.
If you did a bad crime, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now that we're inside here, and it feels like as long as we don't murder anyone and loot. Okay, well, can I loot a? You know what? I won't even ask because that feels we're in someone else's home. Let's take it kindly. How do we get to your hovel, your house? I don't know what to call it.
Yes, the Beaumont Manor is just this way. Just
Oh,
follow me. Gosh, I'm so excited for you to come see. Oh gosh. All right, and she just kind of begins obsessively like fixing everything as she's like leading them towards her house.
Yeah. It is very late at this point. So the streets are almost like completely dead. So there's not much in the way to see, but what you do see are like a sort of middle-ish, wealthy kind of township area. Lots of different like smaller houses and things. Like you can see like the fronts of like storefronts and things that have been closed down, like canopies pulled back and things. You keep walking along like these cobblestone pathways and roads and what have you, and you know Adeline takes you along these different roads, and then slightly further out of sort of the main hub of the city, more out towards the outer wall, but further in, you approach the Beaumont Manor, and Adeline, what does it look like?
I think there's like big wrought iron gates with like an ornate bee kind of in the middle, but like there's overtaken by just this like thick ivy that is growing. It doesn't look overgrown in an unkempt way, but in a very aesthetic way. Intentional. And she'll like push the gate open, and you walk into the very well manicured grounds, and a very nice house, kind of in a kind of like Georgian style looking thing, I think. Lots of windows, a large kind of like round entry way, and like stairs going up into like a big wooden double door. And yeah, there's lots of like shrubbery and flowers and a very like well-kept garden. She's pointing out like, oh, this is a great reading spot. Love to go over there. Oh, and by the fountain is also very nice. You have the relaxing sound of the water, which is lovely. Though they did a lovely job with the perennials this year.
Wait, so this is all yours?
My family's. Yes.
Wow. Wow, this is a lot of space. Honestly, this is and just how many people live here?
Well, it's me, my brother, my mother, and my father. And then we have some staff who live with us, but
Okay.
just a cook, a maid, and a coachman.
Okay.
Kind of look over the stables and that type of thing. And a groundskeeper, etc.
Okay, so all right, so it's a handful. Okay, this is a lot more than I'm used to. It's very impressive. That's kind of what I'm just like gathering. And someone who grows all this, the hedges and does all that. Is that?
Oh, that's Bertrand, the groundskeeper. He's quite talented. Has quite the green thumb. Not literally, but there was one time where he did get quite stained once. But that was, we were trying some new things. The pond wasn't quite green enough, so he was trying some. Anyhow, Bertrand does a lovely job, and he's quite nice. A bit grumpy in the morning, so just steer clear. But otherwise, an absolutely lovely man. He's been with my family for, gosh, before I was born. But we take great pride in our family name and our legacy and in learning. Gosh, my parents, they just know everything. So I'm just really excited to. Oh gosh. Well, we can't tell them everything. Maybe we don't tell them about like the really dangerous stuff, or the fact that like maybe people think we're okay. Gosh, I feel like maybe we should have gone over this sooner. It'll be fine though. It'll be fine. Just if something seems like a bad idea to talk about, just don't talk about it.
We'll follow your lead.
Okay, great. Yes. Welcome. Let's I'm ready.
As we walk up to the house, I'll just kind of like walk next to Lost and be like, I think this is one of those situations where you don't really say anything unless somebody actually says something to you.
I knew Adeline was rich, but I did not realize she was rich.
Right.
Like she's a trust fund baby.
As I see that he's impressed with that, I'm going to remind him, I have an entire forest.
Okay,
Like in terms of square footage, like we're really talking about.
I mean, this is like acreage, really.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't even have that many leaves. Do you know how many leaves I have back home?
None of these trees are black.
I legitimately chose a profession to make money. Smuggling to make money, and you guys are doing everything else but make money, and you're rich. This is not how it's supposed to work.
That's exactly
This is
how it works.
This is exactly how they designed it to work.
Yes. So, you are able to head up to the double doors with these beautiful sort of knotted handles that come away from the door, and you put your hands on both of them, and you guys watch as this sort of midnight blue energy kind of passes over Adeline's hands and into the door handles, and Adeline, you feel a and you're able to pull.
As soon as I see that, I just go, "Oh, come on!" And I turn around. I'm like, "What the fuck?"
It's keyless
Like
entry.
even doors aren't normal doors. Like what
That
Keyless
is
entry.
fascinating.
Yeah.
This is wow, fascinating. I wonder what the rent they pay is here.
You're able to swing open the doors that creak as they come open. You guys are met with this beautiful, warm, yellow-orange glow that comes from inside. Lots of wood paneling across the walls. This wonderful staircase that goes upwards and then onto like a balcony that heads out on both sides in this sort of foyer as you look down and see this wonderful sort of not tile but almost like in sort of a marbled floor, this same ornate bee that is basically the size of the center of this foyer. As you walk in, hearing the doors move, you hear another door open and close and footsteps on the sort of marbled floor and that approach, and you see your mother and father.
Mama! Papa! She just runs over and like hugs them both.
Wrapping around both of them, kind of like taking them back a little bit. This is Marcel and Isidore Beaumont. And that's where we're gonna end tonight's game.
Aww.
Hey, we made it. It only took 2 years. We got there.
We did it!
Feels like
This
2
was
weeks to me.
objective
I don't know
one.
what about you all.
I mean, Brinthar did it pretty quickly.
No, it actually took Brinthar 2 years. So actually, it's pretty spot on.
That's good. It all times out.
Yeah. I finished a little bit early, but I know that if we like got into anything beyond that, it was gonna be like, like so. Rather than cutting it halfway through a conversation, we'll end it there. But yes, we made it, guys. We did it. This was the first task that you were given 2.5 years ago.
we did every side quest, finished all the DLCs.
We're
Now
100%
you're-
completionist.
So over leveled for what's
We're
coming.
over leveled right
Yeah,
now. We're
exactly.
at level 4.
Right, Jay, right.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sure.
So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the raids. Thank you for the subs and follows that came through. We will be off next week. I will be in the Gamma convention, and then we will return the following week. He says? Question
week?
mark? I'm pretty sure. Yes.
No.
Then it's the next one.
And then it's the
yes.
other next one. We're all
Yes.
together at GaryCon.
Yes. So awesome. I'm excited that we finally made it. We're going to find someone to raid. Oh, the
Mike is
Short
right,
Lord. Yes.
yeah.
So we're gonna raid Mike over at the Short Nord. There we go. So yes, we will be back on. Nope. I won't be here. I leave. So.
You and Mike leave.
Yep.
So-
So we will be back. Not
The
this
11th?
week, but next week on the Monday. Sure,
Mhm.
I'll go with 11. That sounds like
That's
a
the
good
Monday.
number. Yeah, that sounds like a
Uh-huh.
good number.
There you go.
So we'll
That's
be
my
back on the
birthday.
11th of March for
Your
Community
birthday?
Monday, and
March
then
11th. I'm a March 11th.
hey, there we go, birthday
Yeah.
stream.
It'll be your birthday party.
And
you go.
then rolling into Wednesday, which will be Call of Cthulhu, and then Thursday, which will be Fables of Gahlia. So much awesomeness. Make sure you hang on in the raid to get your bonus 250 channel points just for being part of it, which you can spend on players next time to give them flex points, because, you know, maybe they'll need them for some reason. But yes, have an awesome weekend. That you are kind of starting off the right way with us. Friday is kind. I'm trying, guys. Anyway,
It's Little Friday. That's what Thursdays are. Little Friday.
Exactly.
have a great night. Bye bye.
Bye.